to be continuing working on our fence this morning. However,
see, she doesn't just do computer stuff.
Well, then it torrentially downpoured for like a solid, I don't know, 3 hours. It's like, man, I probably shouldn't have worn my Crocs. Like, probably not, bud.
Hello.
Checking to see, hey, how's the battery level? And the house died.
Yeah,
so
I wasn't paying attention. We got
our current predicament is with all this rain.
It's kind of like turned into a little bit of a well where all the water in the ground. Most popular suggestions for treating our posts before putting them in the ground. So we're just gonna go ahead and do both.
Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand.
All right, guys, we are going to be continuing working on our fence this morning. However, we've had tons of little scattered thunderstorms, especially coming into our rainy season. So I think we're going to try to knock out a quick little house, or a little pump house, if you will, for the aerator that Cody showed y'all in a previous video.
Yeah, basically we're gonna replace the plastic tub with an actual little wood box.
Yeah. And we're going to be adding a solar panel on top of it so that way it can primarily charge and run itself. So let's do it.
I think right here is probably a good spot. It's already the most level and it looks like it should get a good amount of sun right here. See, she doesn't just do computer stuff.
No, I have to do all the manual labor too. not have power down by our pond, which is why we're bringing the solar panels down. So to power this entire project, we're gonna be using the AC 500 from Blue Eddy. This thing is packed full of power. We've worked with Blue Eddy a ton in the past. We swear by this thing to the point where we built a cart for it to haul it around. So thank you so much, Blue Eddy, for sponsoring this video, and let's get into it. I do want to note that our Blue Eddy is currently at 36% because we use it a lot, and it has solar panels attached, so it's also getting power from the sun currently. By the time that we are done with this project, I want to know what the Blue Eddy is at and how much power we actually used for a small project like this. The first thing that we're going to do is run a 2x4 through our table saw. The reason we're doing this is because we don't really need a whole 2x4. It's not a huge structure. This will save us some wood and allow us to be able to get 2 big pieces out of this rather than just one. Our table saw is about 15 amps of power, so I'm going to set the camera up on the Blue Eddy, set a camera up on us, and we're going to see how much power it actually pulls on the Blue Eddy. Our saw takes about 15 amps of power, which is about 1800 watts. During actual use though, it pulled over 2900 watts, which is over 20 amps of power. Whereas most power banks might overload, the Blue Eddy had no issues running the saw at all. Now that our 2x4 is split down the middle, we're gonna start working on the actual framing for the box. Since I'm cutting 2 pieces of wood, I'm gonna make sure that I clamp them down. Just like our table saw, our miter saw takes about 15 amps of power, so we're not gonna have any issues running it. Cody's gonna put the actual box together because truth be told, I'm not that good with the drill and I'm not that good with the screw gun, to be honest. So he's gonna do it for me.
When we're doing projects like this, we always try and make pilot holes with our drill. That way we don't split the wood with our screws. As soon as I start, my battery died. We should have enough. Unfortunately, the table on our table saw is only so big, so we're gonna have to use the circular saw.
Now he's gonna add the roof on, and I know that it's bare wood. It's not gonna stay like this. We're actually gonna be staining our fence. So as soon as we stain our fence, I'll go ahead and stain this as well and do it all as one versus taking the equipment out multiple different times. But now he's just gonna add hinges so that way he can get into the box, add a solar mount, and we're good to go.
I ran out of solar panel brackets, so I had to do what I had to do, but it works.
Like I said, we need to stain it, but everything is currently in the box and protected from the elements. He also has to do a tad bit more yard work before he can get all the aerators out and then hook them up to the box, but we're running out of daylight, so that's a project for a different day. All right, let's talk about this bad boy for just one more second. I don't know if you can see right here, if you want to zoom in, babe. 34%. So that entire project only used 2% of power, plus we were hooked up to the solar panels the whole time. But as you can tell, it's been a super cloudy day. We've had tons of little storms here and there, and we actually were supposed to get rain, but it started to clear up a little bit, and I'm hoping maybe the sun will start coming back out soon. This thing is packed full of power. 5,000 watt inverter, 3,072 watt hours of capacity. And if that's still not enough power for you, it's even expandable. You have 320 amps, 230 amps, and 150 amp outlet. You have wireless charging up here. There's an app. It'd be great for your camper, going camping. As a backup house battery, if you have like a CPAP machine and you're concerned about your power going out, this thing would be a great home backup battery. There's so many things that you can do with this. It's completely versatile, and it is one of our favorite power banks. We use this thing all of the time. It's a huge lifesaver, especially living off grid. Sometimes it's a little stormy. Sometimes we run out of power, and this thing always has our back. The AC500 is not just a power station, it's a game changer. It's designed to provide you with the reliability and convenience you need, allowing you to stay powered up and connected wherever you go. To get your very own AC500 or just find out more information on Bluetti, make sure you check all of the links in our description. Our workstation is a mess and we are running out of daylight, so let's clean this up and head to the backyard so we can start working on this fence. Remember how we said we were running out of daylight? Well, then it torrentially downpoured for like a solid, I don't know, 3 hours. Then we had to let the ground dry out, and now it's starting to sunset, but we're still gonna try to make the best of it and see what we can get done back here. And then we'll just have to start first thing in the morning. It is pretty muddy, so I'm a little concerned with getting the tractor. I don't know, it's dried out a little bit down there. We don't want to tear up the ground too much because we're trying to grow grass back here.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it. Hopefully it'll make it a little bit easier to dig since the ground will be a little bit softer. Start off, we're going to be setting up a temporary workspace over here at the far end of the backyard. The reason we're so far away from the house is because we're going to be cutting some treated lumber, so we want to make sure all that sawdust stays as far away from the pond as possible. Setting up over here, if it rains, all that sawdust is going to get washed downhill that way and not anywhere near the pond.
That was scary.
Yeah, I'm not used to driving it with no weight on the back. Usually it's got at least the backhoe or something on there, so that's a lot more weight. Last thing, post hole digger.
Earlier, I took a nap and Cody got everything ready. I just have been feeling so low energy recently. I don't know what's going on. Just constantly tired. My body constantly aches. I feel like I'm not getting enough sleep. I've been trying the whole no drinking coffee before like the first hour and a half. I've tried getting up early. I've tried sleeping in. I've tried going to bed early. I've tried going to bed late. I don't know what's going on. Low energy over here. So I took a small little nap and Cody got some work done while I was sleeping. So let me show you what he did.
Just been working on our first post hole right here. I wanted to dig this one by hand because it's the one that goes right next to the house, and there's also a gas line right here. So didn't want to hit the foundation or the gas line.
By using the post hole digger.
Yeah, by using the tractor. So we're gonna be doing our first post a little bit different than the rest, and that we're not gonna put concrete in this hole. And that's just because we're right next to the gas line and we're right next to the foundation. So if we ever have to pull the post back out, I don't want to risk damaging things with pulling a big chunk of concrete up with the post too. I think we're just going to go ahead and burn the bottom of this post and get it nice and treated so bugs will leave it alone and get her in the ground.
And we'll make sure that it's extra nice and tamped. That way it's not going to move, it's not going to budge, and as we continue the fence, there's not going to be any pulling or anything like that.
Also, I kind of forgot about that. I think we're going to have to go buy a new tamp.
Oh, our tamp is broken.
And it's also very large and won't fit in these holes, so we're going to have to find a small one.
Okay, love that. More in-town trips, love that. Okay, I need to get you a t-shirt just like Jim's that says Captain Crocs.
I like my Crocs, they're comfy. I used to hate on people that wore Crocs. I thought they were so stupid, and then I think you actually, Summer talked me into finally getting me a pair, or she bought me a pair or something, and I barely wear anything else now.
I know. Y'all hate on the Crocs, but man, oh man, those things have been through it and they've lasted.
Yeah, unless I have to go like into the forest, then I'll put boots on.
He says that, but it was like torrentially downpouring, and we went down to the creek today, and we got like halfway down the hill, and he's like, man, I probably shouldn't have worn my Crocs. Like, probably not, bud.
Oh well.
We're getting ready to put this first post in, but we need to turn our generator on and charge our batteries. We got a lot of rain today, not a lot of sun, and we really just didn't keep up with checking to see, hey, how's the battery level? And the house died.
Yeah,
so.
I wasn't paying attention. We got a new pump for the hot tub. I was just letting it run all day long, trying to clean the water.
Had
so
the
we
AC
could
going.
sit in the cold water, yeah, charging the power banks and all kinds of stuff, and I just forgot about it. I wasn't paying attention.
So the house is dead, and it's obviously dark out, so we need to run our generator. That's just the cost of living off grid. Every now and then you gotta run the generator. It sucks, but whatever. So it's gonna limit our hearing quite a bit. So for this first pull, I think you're just not gonna have audio. I'm so sorry. I'll put a little description of what we're actually doing on the bottom of the screen, just if you're curious, but.
A quick run through, we're gonna plane our post, we're gonna cut it to size, we're gonna burn it, and then we're gonna put it in the ground.
Yes,
let's do it.
Let's do it. And if you can hear me, the reason we're not using our Bluetti as like a house backup battery, since our house is dead, well, not with the generator on, since our house power died, is because we're actually bringing the cart down here so we can power all of our power tools to build this fence. So the Bluetti is in use down here. That's why we don't have it plugged into the house, or else we would just plug it into the house and it would power the house and we wouldn't have any issues. He sized the post, got the ends cut off. We got it all planed so it's nice and smooth, and we're gonna start working on getting it in the ground. I say we, I always say we, I mean Cody. Cody's gonna work on getting it in the ground. Our current predicament is with all this rain,
the soil's just really soppy down below. It's kind of like turned into a little bit of a well where all the water in the ground is just kind of seeping to it since we just dug a deep hole. It's making it a little soppy in the bottom and kind of suctioning the post, making it a little difficult to tamp, but we'll get it figured out.
But one good thing about it being night is we're able to see our laser level at a really long distance. So it helps us to be able to mark out exactly where we want our fence and to be able to keep a continuous line. So I'm gonna take some spray paint and spray paint all the way down so that way we know the line that we're following whenever we put these fence posts in.
No wasted spray paint around here.
I do think I'm gonna need another can though.
All right, I'll be right back. Well, I measured everything out and it actually lines up perfectly if we use the fence post for our solar corner mount right here. We never put a post in for it because originally this was the side that was the tilting mount. It's just kind of held up with a 2x4 right now. But if we were to put the fence right here next to it, then it'd be really difficult to be able to dig a hole next to that and put in a second post. It actually lines up perfect, so we're just gonna go ahead and make it the same post.
So new color, new line, let's do it.
Can we finish it?
Y'all, look at this can. Do you wanna know how old this is?
This is actually no trespassing purple that we got whenever we bought the property.
Nothing goes wasted.
Holy crap, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was. The laser's like another 4 or 5 feet that way, and I don't really want to start the lawnmower up right now because it's like 11 o'clock, so just gonna throw a cornerstone over there, and that's where the end of the fence is gonna be. So our two most popular suggestions for treating our posts before putting them in the ground was to burn them or to soak them in used oil. So we're just gonna go ahead and do both.
Now I'm gonna say I'm not the most thrilled with this idea, but I know that it's a foolproof method and it's not really seeping in everywhere. It's
yeah, and it's not like I'm pouring a gallon of oil into the earth and letting it seep down into the water or anything like that. Like we're treating the post itself and then wiping it off before
I
we
know,
put it in
it
the
just
ground.
makes me feel so icky.
But did you know Popular Mechanics, I think in like the 50s, 60s, 70s, something like that, actually suggested you dig a hole, fill it with gravel, and use that to dispose of your used oil. Fun fact.
This is what we're gonna do to treat this post. And yeah, it's a foolproof method. Lots of people do it, so I'm hoping that we shouldn't have any issues, especially since we're not cementing this post.
All right, so at some point in time, we cut down the tree. I turned the tree into a post, and then we planed the post, we cut it to size, we burned it, we covered it in oil, we dug the hole, we put the post in the ground, we backfilled the hole. It's square.
I love that you're giving me credit and saying we through all of this.
We were hoping we could get like 3 done tonight, and here we are with the first one.
Yeah. We're going to need a fresh start tomorrow morning. It's like probably 11:30, 12 at this point. We're both very tired.
Yeah, and it has to be like 99, 100% humidity because
oh my God, it's
I'm
so
drenched
hot.
in sweat.
Yeah, we definitely need to take a shower. So we'll be starting fresh tomorrow morning. New day, new video. So be looking forward to that. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It literally helps so much. You have no idea. But
And we'll see you in the next one, which will be very soon because we have to get this fence done. And it's going to take a long time.
no, it's not going to take a long time. Be optimistic.
Okay, well, it may not take a long time, but it's going to take a lot of work.
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
A lot of work. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Good night. Excuse me, that is so tiny.
Can't take a walk without our shadow.
Maybe that should have been his name, Shadow.
Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna